My journey will start in Eastern Africa, where over 80,000 years ago our ancestors traveled over mountains, across deserts, and through forests. Eventually, they crossed the Red Sea onto more fertile land in the Middle East. And through their migration, they came to populate the entire world. My first stop is Nairobi, Kenya. As one of Africa's most stable nations, Kenya has recently been the host of much development. The future here seems bright, yet it is still a terribly poor country of nearly 80 million people. I arranged the logistics of my trip over the next 2 days in Nairobi. A fairly decent 4x4 will be my ride. Along with me will be my Kenyan guide Muawi. The first day on the road, we headed from Nairobi towards the northeast. Through highways, dirt roads, and non-existent routes, our jeep carried us over a landscape that is breathtaking in beauty. We traveled through savanna, desert, and forest. 2 days of traveling on brought us into Ethiopia. My next destination would be Addis Ababa, the capital of Ethiopia. This is Ethiopia. It is a jewel in its own right. The expansive landscape boasts some of the most scenic places on earth. We passed valleys, canyons with the most wonderful natural beauty. They are indeed reminders of the beauty of the continent of Africa. After 3 days of traveling, we had reached the drought-lands of Ethiopia, a region in the southern part of the country that is inhabited by more than 1 million people. But don't let the striking beauty of this land deceive you. Rain is scarce, food is hard to come by, and life is harsh. Survival in this land is an everyday task. On our way to Addis Ababa, we stopped by the city of Lalibela. It is an ancient city that boasts huge cathedrals carved into the mountains. The Ethiopians use these cathedrals to hide from the Muslim invaders. But the Muslims came anyway, and eventually the Ethiopians learned to intermarry and integrate. They devised an elegant system in which every alternating child is raised in one faith or the other. Christianity in Ethiopia is as old as the religion itself. In fact, Ethiopia is the world's oldest Christian country. Traveling from Addis Ababa, we reached the final leg of our journey, the Red Sea, a body of water that witnessed the great advances of human civilization. Writing, language, and our most ancient cultures were born within its sight. However, the greatest human achievement of all, the migration of our ancestors from Africa, is the one event that places more importance upon the Red Sea than any other. When our ancestors crossed its body, they started a migration that would populate the earth and spread civilization everywhere. Imagine what it would have been like for the earliest hominoids, after having traveled thousands of miles through desert, savanna, and forests over mountains, to stand on these shores and look across the water and see a green promise on the other side. Imagine what it would have been like for our ancestors. As I stand here today on these shores, I'm trying to relive a part of one of the greatest journeys of humankind.